Hi guys! It is mid-March here, and if you live in northern hemisphere, the spring is right around the corner. And spring is the growth season. So there are a few things you need to do before the spring arrives. So let's talk about pre-spring gardening. So if you have been planning to plant some fruit trees, this is the time when you should buy the bare root fruit trees and plant them. So if you look at this one, this has no leaves, but the buds are swelling because, very soon they'll open up. And within a few weeks, the buds will open up, the flowers will open up, and if you're lucky, you might get some fruits. So before the spring arrive, you should plant your bare root fruit trees and make sure that you fertilize them well. The second thing that you want to do is if you have any deciduous fruit trees, this is the time you prune them. You make sure if it is too tall, cut away the branches on the top, or if there are some branches which are weak, you prune them away. If it is the branches are too crowded, you again prune them away. So this is the time you prune them, because once they start to grow leaves, you don't want to prune them at that time. You first want to prune them, and then all the energy goes into growing leaves and buds in the remaining branches. The third thing that you want to do to your deciduous fruit trees is spray them with dormant oil. So what happens is that in winters, the trees are dormant. You can see there are no leaves on these trees, but they still harbor mites or insects. And when the spring arrives and the birds start to open up, those mites and insects may destroy those leaves or flowers. So you, at this time, before the buds start to open, the leaves start to open, you spray it with dormant oil, which kills those mites and insects. And since this is the growth season, this is the time you want to fertilize your trees, your shrubs, and your any other plants that you're growing in your garden, because this is the growth season, so you need to fertilize them. Actually, for trees, you should fertilize them in fall with organic fertilizer, because organic fertilizer releases nutrients very slowly. So if you fertilize them in fall, by spring they would have released enough nutrients for the tree to use them. But if you have not done that in fall, then in springtime you should fertilize them with synthetic fertilizer so that they get the nutrients fast. So, trees like this you want to fertilize, and if you have any shrubs or anything, you want to fertilize them. If you have any bulbous plants that are going to grow flowers in summer, like this is agapanthus here, and here I have red amaryllis, which is starting to grow now. This is the time to fertilize them, because they are going to grow flowers within a couple of months. The next thing that you need to do is amend your soil. So, in the ground, you grow vegetables or flowers or whatever, and they are depleted of nutrients. So after the winter is over, you want to dig up the soil and add manure or organic fertilizer or composted chips or just compost, so that you amend the soil. The texture of the soil improves over time. And if you have been thinking of starting compost, this is a good time to start it, because the kitchen scrap, it decomposes faster in summer. So if you start in spring, so by the time it's summer, you would have filled up your compost bin, and then it will start to decompose. So something to think about. Although I compost all year long, and probably you should too if you have space. And of course, you want to start your seeds at this time. So depending on where you live, if the weather in spring is still cold, you want to grow cool weather vegetables. For example, here, I started the cabbage seeds, and these are mustard greens. uh, Here I have, carrots seeds started. Here I have lettuce and bok choy, and this is fenugreek, and this is kohlrabi. So you want to start your cool season vegetables if the weather in spring is still cold, or if you live in a hot climate, then you want to start your summer vegetables like cucumber, tomatoes, beans, and okra, and things like that. And you should also start your flower seeds. So again, depending on where you live, because for me, the weather is still cold in spring, so I have started the flower seeds. Like here, I have cosmos, and these are daisies, and here I have planted hollyhock, and then I have some larkspur which hasn't grown yet. Then here I have sweet peas growing. So whatever is seasonal for you, you should plant those seeds. So here I have nasturtium plants growing. Here I have calendula growing. And then while you are waiting for these plants to grow, maybe you want to buy some ready blooming plants from the nursery to brighten up your garden. And while you're starting your seeds, you may also want to start propagating the shrubs or the plants that you want to propagate. For example, if you wanted to propagate rosemary or camellia or anything else, this is the time that you want to start propagation. So here I have started propagating African daisies from cuttings, and they have been growing well. So there are a lot of things you have to do to prepare for good spring gardening. So you plant your fruit trees, you prune your fruit trees, existing fruit trees, fertilize your plants, you start your seeds, whether it is vegetable seeds or flower seeds. You start to propagate the shrubs or any house plants that you wanted to propagate. You amend the soil and enjoy all these fruits and vegetables in the spring and summertime. So I hope this video was useful to you. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to share it with your friends and family. And I'll see you next time. Happy gardening. Bye.